I get well, you know.
I'm heated about it. All right, I'm heated about it.
We'll turn the page to another subject. We got
yes,
Aaron
another
Rodgers.
subject.
We got more Aaron Rodgers stuff.
Yeah, Green Bay talk. I love Green Bay. I love watching them burn right now.
Yes. So Green Bay has come out and said they are not trading Rodgers. They will not trade him.
Okay, but that's I mean, that's now. Like I've always said, every time we talk about NFL, we are so far away from the start of the season.
Yeah,
things will change. I understand their point now is not trading him, but also why would you trade him now? You're probably getting the least amount of value for him right now. The longer your organization looks like a dumpster fire, so teams are going to lowball you.
Yeah, but the longer and longer you wait, and the more it's looking like he's not going to play, it's just going to only go down. Honestly, at this point, your best point would have been trade him before all of this news even broke. That would have been your best time to trade him. So it looks like they're
my whole thing that I heard and I thought about, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, but Rodgers retires for this. I don't understand why you would retire, but like I don't know if that goes any money wise. I'm not.
So he just sits out.
So like he retires this year and then comes back. I feel like as soon as that happens, you lose. Like Green Bay can't let that happen. Where they say they don't want to trade him, but if it comes to he's going to sit out for a year, you have to trade him before he sits out because he's going to lose so much value by sitting out a year.
Yeah, but. I don't know. I don't think he really will because he did just put up the MVP season. So my whole thing is, if it comes down to it, he will sit. If he really doesn't want to play in Green Bay, he'll sit. He doesn't need the money.
That's my biggest thing is the money.
And then
because I feel like
he'll sit,
like
dude.
Players,
he doesn't need it.
Players who are pissed off at an organization will be mad at the organization and still play when they need the money.
When they need it. He doesn't need it. He can retire. Dude, he could sit and host Jeopardy.
Yeah, for a year. And then
do
come
the State
back.
Farm commercials, host Jeopardy.
He can sit. It's
probably star in a movie like with LeBron or something like that. Space Jam 3.
Yeah, I mean
NFL comes to town.
They're really just headlocked right now. It's
I think Rodgers is gonna win this one.
Yeah, I think Gutekunst
I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, he's out of his elements.
Gutekunst doesn't stand a chance against Rodgers, man.
That's what I want to, because I know me and Bobby talked about this. You weren't here last week, and Bobby was bringing up a point about how he doesn't know how the shareholders work, because technically Green Bay is a publicly owned company.
You're right, they're publicly owned.
So I did some research over the week, and I found an article from Sports Illustrated from 2018. So Packers shareholders, which actually you can't buy any shares at the moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I don't know how they do it or whatever. So Packers shareholders vote to elect Green Bay's board of directors and a 7-member executive committee. And then that committee and board of directors represents the team at league meetings.
Okay.
But also individual shareholders have absolutely no say in team decisions, football or otherwise. They can't change the colors. They can't change the name. They can't change anything about it. It's just those people
voted. The 7 voted in.
So that's what we were talking last week. Like, do you have to send out in the mail to every shareholder? Like, do we keep the GM or fire him? Apparently not.
Yeah.
It's like less than 10 people are deciding.
So those 7 people would be the final say if Gutekunst gets fired, basically.
Oh.
Because Rodgers said that he doesn't want to be there unless
kind
Gutekunst
of clears up to, because me and Bobby were talking last week. We're like, can this even happen in time? Like, even if you started today trying to vote out Gutekunst on this publicly owned company, could you do it? I found out now it's less than 10 people.
I feel that
can get done.
Now it's more likely. Give it a couple more months and push comes to shove. I think those 7 people will be like, well, obviously, it's either a season without Rodgers or we get rid of Gutekunst.
Do they believe in the LaFleur and Jordan Love tandem, or do they? That decision will tell you everything about what that board of directors.
It doesn't look like anyone is.
No, I know, but that decision will tell you everything about what that board of directors thinks of the whole LaFleur and Jordan Love thing.
Yeah.
It tells you that'll tell you who they value more. Because if they go with Rodgers, then they are basically saying, all right, our GM's a bum. We could do, there's not, okay, that was harsh. But they're saying Rodgers is more important than the GM. And they're basically saying that they don't believe that LaFleur picked the right quarterback to replace Rodgers. So now they have doubts about his ability to evaluate a quarterback.
But
has it been proven that LaFleur made the move to trade up?
Oh, dude, he was creaming his pants about it when it happened.
Well, but like, if you're the coach and all of a sudden your GM comes up to you and says, "We just moved up in the draft," who would you want? And you wanted Jordan Love where you were, and you were like, "Well, I wanted Jordan Love," and you just leave it at that, and then the GM picks Love. Is that really your fault as a coach?
No.
Or you're just like, "Hey, man, I thought we could have got Jordan Love."
They
You're at
spots
fault.
back.
You're at fault a little bit if you wanted Jordan Love, and as a coach, you said he'll be there when we pick at 30 or whatever their pick was that draft. And your GM is like, well, do you want Jordan Love? And you say, yes, I want to draft Jordan Love. And he feels he needs to trade up for him. You're still responsible.
Yeah.
You didn't make the trade, right? But if you told your GM that that's the quarterback of the future that you want, any GM in their right mind is going to make sure they get that guy.
Yeah, but they ate their words on Jordan Love the minute they offered him an extension. Like the minute you're extending Aaron Rodgers for another
they offered Love an extension.
No, they offered Aaron Rodgers an extension.
No.
So now you're extending him for probably 4 plus more years.
Maybe they're like, oh crap, we shouldn't have drafted Jordan Love
because clearly he has. If you're going to extend him for another,
and I get what you're saying, but to Nick's point though, both the GM and coach are still responsible for that.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I was more so Gutekunst because it seems like Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers have had a good relationship.
It could have been more Gutekunst, but I seriously doubt that your new head coach 1 year, or who's been your head coach for 1 year at that point, just was like, you didn't go to him at all and go, hey, what are you thinking of? I find it hard to believe that LaFleur was like, I want us to draft a wide receiver. And then the GM's like, well, we're trading up and drafting Jordan Love. I seriously doubt you're doing that unless you're not planning on keeping that coach. Then you're looking at something similar to when Ryan Pace traded up for Trubisky. He didn't listen to what, what's his face? John Fox said, because he was like, John Fox isn't going to be my coach at the end of this next season.
Yeah.
So if your plan was to go forward with LaFleur as your long-term head coach, he was definitely involved in getting Jordan Love.
Yeah, no, I get that, but it seems like for the most part, Aaron Rodgers and him are on
they
good
probably.
terms.
I'm sure they get along.
So,
although who knows? Maybe they actually don't.
Yeah, I mean they could not.
Honestly, all this stuff blew up. It came on pretty suddenly. If you ask me, on draft night, it was suddenly like he doesn't want to be back.
Yeah, but I think Bobby was making a point. Was it last? Yeah, I think it was last week that Aaron Rodgers' interview. He said he loved the coaches. I feel like you wouldn't say I love the coaches and hate Matt LaFleur. Like you would say I like the coaches except for LaFleur. And
no, I get it. And I'm conceding that Gutekunst may have led the charge on Jordan Love, but I don't think that LaFleur had no say in that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not completely guilty, but I'm just saying it seems like Aaron Rodgers has no problem with them. Yeah. Why would you come out and say I want Gutekunst gone and I'll come back?
Yeah,
he would say I want the whole. I want everything gone.
Like I said, I was answering Nick's question about is the coach or the GM responsible for giving that trade scenario. No, and I was just saying they're both involved. In
they're both at fault for that. And
whatever, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to eventually win that. Winning that can be they get rid of Gutekunst or they trade him.
Yeah.
Either way, I think he's going to be the one who walks away on top of this feud.
I'm looking at it as, say they even get rid of Gutekunst, there's going to be a certain point this summer when Rodgers has made his decision that he's not going to play. He's going
to be like, no.
I'm saying like end of July, if all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're getting rid of Gutekunst, we're bringing in such and such guy. I feel like at a point Rodgers is going to be like, no, you pissed me off enough. I'm still not playing.
It's over.
I'm still going to sit out here just to spite you.
I'm sure there is a date in mind for him, or like a timeline where he's just going to be like, all right, and that is the line in the sand. It's over.
Yeah.
But whatever, we'll see how that all plays out. That's not the only saga going around right now. There's the Julio Jones sweepstakes.
As we do. Atlanta has came out and said that they're willing to take less, a hard second-round pick, to avoid paying him his $38 million that they have to pay him. Yeah. That's insane.
I think they're getting to the point where I think they think that the Matt Ryan, Julio Jones combo isn't going to get them over the hump to get a playoff win.
Well,
so it's like we're going to save that money. Like
they got him to a Super Bowl.
I mean, but you got Matt Ryan's going to be making 41 mil.
They
and
need
then
they
you
need
have
the cap space, dude.
Yeah, but
Julio
it's like-
Jones making 38. Like that's
They're going to get rid of Julio
that's
Jones and
over-
have cap space to try to move and do stuff.
it's half of your cap space almost on 2 players. So like they
Yeah.
have to deal him.
They need to deal him.
Yeah.
I think I know there's all kinds of rumors. The Rams, Baltimore, they were never serious contenders. They didn't have anything.
No,
to
they didn't have
offer.
the cap room. But
They were just because those are 2 teams that could use a wide receiver. They always throw them out there.
yeah.
I'm kind of buying the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, they seem likely.
I think that or Seattle are your most likely, but
Yeah.
I'm going to lean Tennessee on this one.
I think that, but there is a name that I said last week that has not been thrown out there at all. The Colts. I don't know why they haven't.
I like them.
I
too.
don't know why they haven't been trying to make this move. They have the salary cap.
Yeah,
They
dude,
could-
I don't know the Colts.
But
I thought
sometimes
the
those-
Colts. We thought the Colts were going to get Kenny Galladay, and they didn't.
Yeah, but it
We
seems
thought they were
like
gonna do- they
they
who
said
knows? They
it-
might have a completely different plan than
Yeah.
what all of us think. they
Also,
should have.
sometimes you don't hear about like a team, and then all of a sudden that team gets
They
them,
just
and,
come
and
out
you're
and
like,
like, boom.
you're baffled.
Bears
that
with
even
Khalil
happened.
Mack.
Yeah, so
Never
it's
even
like-
mentioned in the rumors. You're like, oh crap! Wait
Yeah.
a second.
So all of a sudden you're just gonna
It
have
happens.
It's gonna be like a day that when he gets traded, if he goes to Indianapolis, it's gonna be like Julio Jones, like Adam Schefter. Julio Jones is going
Yeah,
to the Colts.
I
Everyone's
think
gonna-
they could be a serious
find
contender
explode.
because they have the salary cap. that
I
could be-
can
but
get behind that. I'll
the-
say Tennessee obviously is the most open about their interest in it. I
Yeah.
think they're going to be the most aggressive. But I would say Indianapolis is more likely than Seattle. At least, yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah,
think it's more
Seattle's
likely.
tough. It's
They don't have cap space.
they really don't have the cap space. But if he did land there, that would probably be the best spot for Julio Jones.
I think Tennessee.
See, Ryan Tannehill is
Right? No, come on, don't disrespect
I'm
him.
not
now. We're going on 2
disrespecting-
years of this with
I'm not
Tannehill.
disrespecting the man, but
I
it's-
don't like Julio Jones in Tennessee for the simple fact is Derrick Henry is Tennessee. Like
yeah, he's gonna be.
But
good.
think about what that Tennessee offense becomes. Derrick Henry.
there are too many cooks for me, and there's too
I don't
many.
think
And Dalvin
so.
Cook doesn't even play for the team, but there's too many. Cooks
I
in
don't
the
get me
kitchen.
wrong. Yes, I can see doing good, but you're depending a lot on Ryan Tannehill, and they're going to be running the ball 30 plus times a game.
But not necessarily. If Julio Jones,
Dude,
AJ Brown,
You're not going to not run Derrick Henry 30
I'm not
times a game.
you-
It's,
but
the-
that is an offense that to me is very difficult to stop. Like, what do you do to stop it? Because if you're gonna if you're gonna load the box, now you have Julio Jones who's going to be able to beat whoever you put on him. AJ Brown is going to be able to beat whoever you put on him.
yeah, no, I
forget who
can't
their
see
tight
it.
end
I
is.
think anywhere he will end up out
I
of
don't
the
know.
trade.
You looked at me like
Their tight end just left and signed with
John Smith.
he just signed
Yeah.
with New England.
Yeah.
Either way, dude. If
That-
he ends up on Tennessee's winning that division.
I feel
it's
like
not
any
even
team
close.
that he can land up on right now, either be Tennessee or Seattle, it's good landing spots for him. And
Mhm.
I feel like he could honestly deserve that number 20 ranking that they gave him on the top 100.
Well, he could deserve. Maybe he earns it for 2022, but
Yeah,
but we won't get back.
Yeah, we won't
No,
get
we're
into
not going to
that.
get back into that.
So
So you're saying Indianapolis?
I'm saying watch out for Indianapolis. I don't know why.
What is the most likely landing spot in your opinion?
the most likely landing spot as of right now? Either Seattle or Tennessee.
Pick one.
Man, dude, get off
I'm-
the fence, dude. You're flip
I'm
flopping
gonna have to go to
around.
Seattle, but
Seattle.
I'm saying
All
watch
gonna
out for the
with, I
Colts.
say Tennessee. Nick.
I can see him going to Indianapolis
Okay.
just because they have that defense. Like Atlanta wants a defensive piece in the trade, and Indianapolis, I feel like would be like, hey, yeah, you can have a defensive piece for us
yeah,
to
but
get
now
Julio
it's
Jones.
like, dude, you give him a second round pick and maybe a couple late round picks. he's
Ultimate
your-
steal if you
he's
can get
yours.
that.
Yeah,
no, I know,
still,
but like
I still say
like
Tennessee.
say Seattle throws out picks, and then Indianapolis has a second round pick and a defensive player who's going to be an everyday player. I find it hard pressed that Atlanta's going to be like,
You think that? So you're saying Indianapolis can make the best offer?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
if
Yeah. I get it.
Indianapolis
Yep.
gets word
Fair
of an
enough.
offer and they're like, oh, that's all they're offering, okay, I'm going to throw in a second round pick and just a defensive starter.
And it's just
then
like-
bam, it's going to flip over to that.
That's a fair assessment. I get what you're saying there. I'm sticking with Tennessee. I think Tennessee is a good spot for him.
I do too.
Indianapolis is a good spot. Seattle, I don't see them affording it.
Yeah,
But whatever. Got a whole offseason. Well, it'll be fun to follow the whole time.
yeah, but
I
mean,
think Julio Jones is going to happen sooner than anything with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, like Julio Jones is honestly worth that first round spot, like first round pick.
Yeah, and if you can get him for
It's-
less, that'd be
so
huge.
it would be a
But-
steal for whoever lands him.
We'll see. We have the whole offseason. But right now, we got NBA playoffs going on.
Yeah,